The City of Johannesburg is warning against illegal trading. It's urging informal traders to comply with bylaws or face getting their goods impounded. The streets of Johannesburg are flooded with informal traders. For more on this, I'm joined now by the JMPD, Johannesburg Metro Police Department Spokesperson Xolani Fihla. Xolani, good afternoon. Thank you for your time. So tell me about this warning about people needing to regularize their trading. What informs it at this moment, and what are the objectives that you are trying to achieve as the City of Joburg?
Thank you to Lesizwe, and let me greet the viewers. Yes, one thing I can say is that the City of Johannesburg does encourage freedom to engage in informal trading, but that has to be done within the prescripts of the informal trading bylaws. One, you need to have a permit for you to be trading within the city, and you have to be, or actually not be trading in a restricted manner or in prohibited areas. Let's say prohibited areas is if you're going to impede on any pedestrian traffic or vehicular traffic, or in a restricted manner in which you keep the area around where you're trading unclean and unsanitized, like what we've been seeing in the City of Johannesburg is that we find people are trading in the right areas, but the places where they are trading, they're not clean. And then we find that people are also trading in areas where they're not supposed to be trading.
Yeah. What's brought about this fresh impetus to enforce those bylaws, Xolani? Is it a sense that you, as the JMPD and other departments and agencies of the city, have done your part to facilitate regular and proper trading by traders, and now it's time to move in and enforce the law?
Yes, what I can say is that JMPD has always been enforcing bylaws, especially informal trading bylaws. But we know that a couple of months ago, a new informal trading policy was introduced by the city. And we as JMPD, when it comes to our enforcement, we follow the informal trading bylaws and also that policy, but also there's other departments which are involved. Most important department is the Department of Economic Development, which actually sets out the prescribed manners and also issues permits for informal trading. There's also other important stakeholders like JRA, where the pavements and roads within the city are actually cleaned and regulated by them, and also pick it up, and also departments like JPC as the Johannesburg Property Company, yeah, and the Johannesburg Development Agency. So all of us put together are there to ensure that these bylaws are run properly, and that another important thing when it comes to enforcing regarding JMPD is that people are treated in a fair manner and their human dignity is respected.
In fairness to you, Xolani, the issuing of permits doesn't reside with you. I imagine it's with the Economic Development Department of the City of Johannesburg. However, interagency communication does happen. So what are they telling you about whether or not they've issued new permits, such that when you approach traders on the streets and you ask them for permits, you go there with the authority that actually these people have no reason to not have a permit because permits have been issued? And I ask you this because I've seen reports suggesting that there have been no new permits issued out over the last decade or so, which would present a problem, because if I think the best way for me to respond to my financial challenges is to go and engage in street trading in the City of Johannesburg, but no permits are being issued, I basically would have had no choice but to operate illegally in the last decade or so.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true, my brother. From what I know, I can't confirm the amount of years, but it has been a couple of years that the city hasn't been issuing out permits. So when we come to the focus of our enforcement, we enforce mostly in areas where informal trading is totally prohibited. So it's a matter if you do or you don't have a permit. When you're not supposed to be trading there, then you're not supposed to be trading there. So we do impound. And what we've also been engaging in is actually informing members of the public, and especially people who want to engage in informal trading, in what prescribed manners they meant to partake, and in which avenues they meant to go to. And that's through municipal offices where they get the proper information. But as you did say, that permits haven't been issued in a while, and it makes it really difficult. But if you still have a permit, whether it's expired or it's still valid, that it's important to have that permit. Yeah. But as I said, that we are enforcing in areas where you're not meant to be trading at all.
So when you find someone, Xolani, and they don't have, well, for now you've just clarified that your main focus is people who trade in areas where they are prohibited altogether. Trading is completely prohibited. Whether or not you have a permit is irrelevant. There's no trading allowed in those spaces. You seriously cannot make, though, the contention that people are treated humanely, given some of the images we've seen over the years. I mean, some of your officers have not covered themselves in glory in the way that they approach people. Even if they are breaking the law, there have been a few instances and a few images that we've seen for ourselves where, you know, you say to yourself, sure, the person is breaking the law, but do they have to be treated in this inhumane manner? What guarantee can you give right now that those sins will not be repeating themselves?
For one of the most important sections within the informal trading policy is for when JMPD does enforce that people are treated in a fair manner and that the human dignity is respected. But also it is important, as I did say, that we engage with people who are trading in places where they're not meant to be trading before we do impound. Just educate that person, and then when you do come back again, they do know that they're not meant to be there. But also for a member of public, it is important for you to, when your goods are impounded, that you are given a receipt where each item is itemized, and you are informed of how much you need to pay to actually get your goods back, and where you need to get your goods back. And if you are treated unfairly, it is your right to take down the name of that officer. The officer must have a name tag. And also it's important to take either the call sign or the registration plate of the vehicle. And you are free to lay a complaint with the JMPD Internal Affairs Unit, who will investigate the matter. And if officers have overstepped their authority, then that matter will be taken into consideration. Investigations will take process, and action will be taken against those officers.
Xolani, I'm out of time, but I can't not ask you this, and it really would be the elephant in the room. The raid that you guys undertook, and I use raid loosely here, around the de Villiers precinct became controversial because it was subject to a constitutional court order. And you've explained the interagency work that happens and the various agencies that are involved. But as far as yourselves as JMPD are concerned, what instructions have you been given such that you don't violate court orders, especially orders from the highest court in the land, the Constitutional Court, around that area of de Villiers, Plain Street, and those streets that were subject to that order that was sought by the Socio-Economic Rights Institute?
Yes, as we know through that court order that informal traders did return to de Villiers Street. So ours is to ensure within that area, within that precinct, is that we have the St. Mary's Cathedral, and one of the prescriptions of the bylaws is that you shouldn't be trading in front of a church. So we're making sure that that area is clean, and where they are meant to be trading, they should be trading there. But as it is important also that we do check for their permits if they are permitted to be trading there. So if you're not meant to be there, then we're going to have to remove you. But to those who are permitted to be trading there, we are leaving them at this present moment.
All right. Xolani, I've got to thank you for your time. I had to throw in that question, even at the risk of overrunning our interview. Thank you for engaging with me. That's the JMPD spokesperson, Xolani Fihla, there, talking about the enforcement of bylaws around trading on the streets of Johannesburg.